Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon and welcome back to Microsoft Dogs. Today's tour, Dog's Best Friend. Let's get started.
Sir Charles is napping. He's been reading that fellow Malthus again. Funny how humans think they can learn about the world from books. I tried one once when I was just a pup, but there wasn't much to it. I was hungry again in an hour.
Inheritance of beneficial traits.
The fact is, if you want to know about a dog, just ask a dog. I'll just lie down on his feet so they won't get cold. Oh, I'm so fond of him, really. For a human, he's quite intelligent. You might say they're a hobby of mine, humans. If you'll just click that picture up in the corner, I'll tell you all about them. One thing you have to understand about humans is they're a restless lot, always moving from one place to another. Sir Charles keeps wondering how it is we dogs turn up all over the world in more or less the same condition. But the answer is simple, really. We came with you. Some of us became sailors. And some jumped ship. There's a breed on Malta, that's a tiny little island off Italy, that still looks just like their great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. Well, you get the picture. They sailed from Egypt eons ago. Liked the looks of Malta, decided to stay. With no local dogs to mate with, they haven't changed a bit in all those years. It's no fun to be seasick, but the sailors had it easy. Some of us had to walk our way around the world. Land bridges connected the continents back then, and we dogs followed our humans right across them.
Natural selection.
Well, that's how the Spitzes got to Japan. And how those dashing dingoes ended up in Australia. Dingoes are different from your average modern dog. They've kept to the old ways more than most. Stay away from humans mostly and hunt their own food. They know how to keep their mouths shut too. They hardly ever bark. Listen to that, would you? You'd almost think he was trying to bark. Humans call it the New World, even though it's just as old as all the rest. We walked there too, and a big wild country it is, 2 continents worth. In the old times, the humans there were more hunters than herders, so they didn't have as much use for us as some folks, except sometimes when they got hungry.
Oh dear.
Believe it or not, those herder guard dog twosomes you find all over Europe came from Tibet, walked every step of the way. And we're not talking about an afternoon promenade here, either. It took a couple of centuries and a lot of camping out. Those dogs can take it, though. They're tough.
Well, this is quite the hairdo.
A dog that hooked up with the Romans had to be tough. Some humans just want to see the world, but the Romans wanted to own it. We're not talking about paying cash, either. War is a uniquely human idea, and not such a good one, if you ask me. Those Romans had us drive cattle for their armies. They strapped spears to us and sent us into battle. On their days off, they made us fight each other. Evidently, they found it more entertaining than we did. I don't suppose I'll ever understand how humans pick their leaders. Now, we dogs sorted out while we're just pups. The best dog leads the pack, and if a better dog comes along, well, it takes over. But for a big stretch of human history, it was getting born into the right family that made a king or queen. Had nothing at all to do with whether the person was up to the job. Take Marie Antoinette. She and her husband Louis ruled France, but they weren't very good leaders. Built themselves fancy palaces while the rest of their pack went hungry. Marie treated her dog well, royalty often did, but the ordinary people finally had enough. Cut her head off. A good master is not always a good human. Take the case of Russia. The Tsars and their noble friends go on wolf hunts that last 2 weeks or more. They take the train to where the wolves are, 40 cars full of food and wine, and more to carry their hounds. Meanwhile, the peasants are starving. And who pays for it all? The common folk, of course. Kings and queens get so desperate to find a way to pay for their pleasures, they even put taxes on dogs. Just ask an English sheepdog how it lost its tail. Mark my words, there's trouble coming to those czars. Whenever human leaders treat their pets better than their people, it spells revolution. Call it Spin's Law. And while I'm on my soapbox, there's another thing.
Oh, there you are, Spin. Good fellow. I've just had the most remarkable dream. I fell asleep pondering how one generation inherits traits from another, that sort of thing. And in my dream, I saw a sort of spiral staircase, or was it two entwined? I was quite convinced I had the answer. Quite so. Utter nonsense. If you want to explore, click the Contents button, or click the picture in the corner, and you can take another tour.
And that would be it for today. I'm Brian Croydragon signing out. Stay straight.